I know there's a plane going by, but hello everyone, welcome to Avi Monster Star Series 2.0 season Monster Star Series 2.0 season 8 on episode 8 for Easter edition. I know you can hear the plane in the background, but doesn't know the plane in the background, the aircraft. But anyway, now today is the Easter edition. We're gonna have for this Easter edition, we're gonna have these type of candy sweet treats of these trucks and of the cause of the candy rainbow of this rabbit. So EB is going to be able to participate in this time series. So for this Easter edition, so was not wasting more time. Was announced our driver. So first up, representing from the Crazy Ball, the Pro Workouts. It is not that of Marshall Guava 239 and Altoga Street Treats. And next up for Team Ball Racing for the second teammate Team Ball Racing. It is not that of a white is the same wild size chassis but on a coffee shop of the truck. It is not that of the Simpsons Home Simpsons Donut Dunkin' Donuts custom wild size Team Ball Racing chassis. And next up, representing from this truck, it is not that of Penguin Plush, one FNAF, the West of himself, in San Diego Neon. And representing of this truck, the Rocket Green of the Purple Working Machine, it is not that of Motivator 1 in Great Eagle Street Treats. And representing from this truck, this pedal, it is not that of the Candy Bites of it. It is not that of Monster Sparky and Mamnam's custom. And next up, representing from this truck, it is not that of the participate for this truck to able first debut rookie. It is not that of Marja Carter Racing in EB. And next up, representing from this trouble of Marjam RC and ET Drum, also representing for standing for Tail Shark of giving in Teenage Suicide the total trust for Howard's Monster Mattel Big Hub Raphael. And next up, representing from this chart, this pedal, the second teammate T Drum, also it is not that of US Force Champion of Torbud in Bandana Monster Machines. And next up, representing from this chart, this pedal, it is not that of where's the griddle of this horse in the fairy tales. It is not that of the diploma truck of Diecast Home and Sparkle Smash Street Treats. And next up, representing from this sponsor of a Spin Master Mod Jam of Spin Master Team sponsor. It is not that of Tech Deck. It is much of a attraction of destroying your first time champ in Tech Deck Black Deck Mix 45. And next up, representing from destroying this competitor, the Buccaneer, the Park Crew. It is the Team Ball Racing of Monster Cluster 2008, your first time champ in Blackpool for Mix 38. And next up, the play associates of the beast on the water. It is the sweetest fish of candy type of gummy fish. It is not that of out of adventures in Megalodon Street Treats for one Bad Company's chassis. And next up, representing from this show, it is not that of Magical Gaming of the show and Zombie Nitro. And next up, representing from this show, this pedal, it is of Corey Ramos truck 1A, the able for standing for very circuit. It is not that of Margin Rainbow X Pixels and Wing Brothers from Mix 39. And next up, representing from the show, your three-time champ in the second place behind Matt Bonamax Weed. So I forgot Matt Bonamax, your three-time champion in the Simpsons Dunkin' Donuts. Custom just a reminder. And Monster Truck Classic, your 3-time champ, and Rainbow Blast for a Deus Ex release. And last but not least of the show, it is not down the fast food truck of the donuts. It is not down of E. March Infinite get to champion. Will he be catch up in Glaze Machine? So we're gonna take our first race in round 1. And here we go. First race in round number 1 is gonna be Tech Deck Wreck Deck. Mix 45 will be taken away Teenage Mutant Turtle, Wi-Fi Alpha, House Mutant Hotel, Bake Up 2004. And towards the end is gonna be Great Digger Street Treats. We'll be taking away Rainbow Blast. So we're gonna take our first race in round 1. There's gonna be no play footage, so we're just gonna play this out because the count is gonna be warming up too hard. It's gonna be the timer on that video on the play footage is gonna be no good, so we're gonna stick with the first person camera. So it's gonna be this way, so let's go racing. Oh, it is going to be, I know it's on fail. And we go to Tech Deck, Wreck Deck. We get able to first win for the rookie. We're able to move on E. Went in the round 2. Alright, next racing number 1 is going to be Vet Dead Marsh Machines. We'll be taking on with Auto Local Street Treats. Here you go. Oh, a short start there. But Alto Local Street Trees went across. They were able to move on E round in the quarterfinals. And here you go, next race in round number 1 is gonna be the Simpsons Dunkin' Donuts of E, a Wild Shine's Terrible Racing Chassis. Will be taking a web of San Diego Neon. Here you go. It's gonna be the Simpsons Dunkin' Donuts custom will able to take the win. We'll move on in E round number of E quarterfinals. Doing off camera, but Sparkle Smash Street Trees were about to take out first row. Not current cause of ED now, but somehow luckily it's not. But we cast the unicorn before this truck took off. So it's gonna be Sparkle Smash Street Trees will be taking away Mad Mem's custom. Here you go. Oh, I think it was close. Straight A view. Oh, it's gonna be not down. Sparkle Smash Street Treats. We're able to take the win. We're able to move on the quarterfinals. Here we go. Our next race in round number 1 is gonna be Grace Machine. We'll be taking on Zombie Nitro. Here you go. Oh, it's gonna be Grace Machine will be taking on the win. We're able to move on in the quarterfinals. Alright, this is my first time seeing for these truck battle trying. It's gonna be the Winning Weight Brothers from X39. We'll be taking a web of EB for a first EB rookie. So this is the similar to both of the plastic base and the metal base of these trucks. So this is first time EB in the able to participate, able to perform of this race. So could the hair will be faster than the tortoise, or the sword steady wins the race? Here you go. Oh, unfortunately it would not. And the fastest hair, the rabbit of this rookie first debut win, but I can barely see out the grill. And it is. EB would take the first time rookie win. We're able to move on in the quarterfinals. And last time, first of Forest for doing the Valentine's Day last event didn't go so well, but the EB was able first time in the rookie win. So could Blackpool Mix 38 or Michael Street Treats, the Serious Fish, were able to move on in the quarterfinals? We'll see, find out. Ooh, put Magadon of E. Swedish Fest will push. Give a Blackpool from Mixer E for a shove for the win. We'll move on in E round 2, the quarterfinals. And here we go. This is our last race in the round number 1. It's gonna be Great Eagle Street Treats. We'll be taking a left of a Rainbow Blast. Here we go. Oh, it's going to be not that of Great Eagle Street Treats. We're able to take the win. We're able to move on in the quarterfinals. And here we go. First race in the quarterfinals is going to be Tech Deck Wreck Deck from Mix 45. We'll be taking with Alto Loco Street Treats and move on down. And Tosan is going to be Black Paul from Mix 38. We're able to take on with of E Great Eagle Street Treats. So we're going to take our first race in E quarterfinals. Here we go. First race in E round in the quarterfinals. Let's go. Oh, Tech Deck Wreck Deck, what a crowd steal. And we go to El Togo Street Treats. We're able to take the win. Once again, we're able to move on E semifinals. And here we go. Next race in E round in the quarterfinals is going to be the Simpsons Dunkin' Donuts for E1E Wild Size for Team Oboe Racing. We're going against teaming. Oh, the custom one will be, or is it going to be Sparkle Smash Street Treats? Here we go. Oh, Sparkle Smash Street Treats got a shovel push for the win. We're able to move on in E round number of E in the semifinals. Alright, this is the both heavyweight on the body and the chassis. Grace Machine will be taking a web EB of E working on this truck. So could the tortoise will be fastest than the hail, or the hail will be fastest than the fast food joint of E tortoise? Here we go. And EB would take the first one right off the bat. We're able to move on in the final and the semifinals. Oh wait, and our last race on the quarterfinals is gonna be Black Pearl from Mix 38. We'll be taking a left of Great Eagle Street Treats. So who will be moving on to the semifinal? Let's go. Ooh. I thought it was Great Eagle Street Treats for the win, but except for Black Pearl from Mix 38 will sneak past 5 for the victory. We're able to move on E semifinals. And here we go. Are you waiting to meet your final competitors on the semifinals? So here we go. We're going to announce our 4 drivers in these 4 trucks. So first up, representing for T.O. Bone of the chassis of E of this truck of the Crazy Bull, celebrating 25 years of this truck. It is 9 Dan of E Marshall Glover 239, your world time champ in Altogo Street Treats. And next up, representing from this truck, it is competitor of the season. It is 9 Dan of E, greater of this horse of Diecast Hub. It first time in the semifinals in Sparkle Smash Street Treats of a disappointment truck. And next up, representing from this truck, it is the Wins the Rabbit, what does the candy and the eggs. Who wants candy? It is 9 Dan of E, March Jam Karate Racing in EB. And next up, representing the Buccaneers of High Crew, it is 9 Dan Table Racing. It is 9 Dan of You Want to Champ in March Jam Karate 2008 in Blackpool for Mix 8. So, who's going to be moving on in the final round? Let's see, find out. I know my count was boring while I'll focus for a second while I was recording. So, now, let's get towards our semifinals. It's going to be Altogo Street Treats for a tail board. Racing Chassis will be tailed with Sparkle Smash Street Treats. And move on down towards our end. It's going to be of EB of E of this truck. Will be the first time in the semifinals. Will be up against of Black Pearl from Mix 38. So, who's going to be moving on in the final round? And here we go. This is a Street Treats battle control round. Let's see how it goes. Oh, Sparkle Smash Street Treats once again. We're able to move on in the final round. Oh wait, this is the between of the plastic base and the metal base chassis. Is it gonna be EB of this first debut Rabbit will be the fastest here. Then the Black Performance 38 of the shipwreck will be who's gonna be joining with a first-time rookie of this driver. It is not that Diecast Home is our first time in the final round in Sparkle Smash Street Treats. Is it gonna be of this driver of the first fastest hail will deliver the candy or not? Monster Collector Racing in EB, the rookie of this debut truck, or is it gonna be of this driver? It is not that of the Buccaneers of the Pine Crew. It is not that of Monster Collector 2008, your first time champ, and Black Pearl for Mix 8. So, who will join him in the final round? Let's see and find out. Ooh, a dominant race. Ooh, I thought it was close. Let's see how far it is. Oh, what a fortunate race. We'll go to a Black Pearl for Mix 8. We're able to get a chance to win this time, but the hail of this rabbit for EB will not deliver eggs for this season of spring. Better luck next time at next season's event. Oh wait, we're seeing the first time of these two battling out in the final round. Are you ready to meet your final competitors? First up, representing of this unicorn of Brain Squirtle of this truck. For the little girls in this truck, they're able to participate in this candy theme for this truck. It is not that up. Diecast Home in the first time in the final round in Sparkle Smash Street Treats. And representing from this Buccaneer the Pie Crew, it is not that of your one-time champ, Monster Collector 2008 in Black Performance 8. So one of these drivers has won before. Well, one of these drivers hasn't won before in their first time. So, will Monster Collector 2008 will become your title champion? Or is it going to be Diecast Home will be our first time win? So, we're going to see a best of three in the final round. Oh wait, who's going to be taking the first race in the final round? Let's go. Oh, it's going to be not that Sparkle Smash Street Treats. We're able to take the first win. We're able to move on in the second race in the final round. Again, this is similar when I watched Hawkeye Horror Nation. His truck was the fastest of the speeding unicorn of all of his race. So, could Black Pearl for Mix 38 will tie us up, or is Sparkle Smash Street Treats of a disappointment truck would go 2 and out? Let's see and find out. Oh, it does not matter whichever lane it goes. And it would go to of your Monster Science Series 2.0 Season 8 on Episode 8 Easter Edition. Winner would go to. And congratulations to of Diecast Home in Sparkle Smash Street Treats first time driver of this rookie win. And the first time champion after all. Congratulations, my man. Did you ever first time win in this time series in Sparkle Smash Street Treats? I am apologizing to this show of Monster Collector 2008. You were so close, my man. You were about to become your title champion. So hopefully you get another chance to win. But except for your loss. Hopefully in this main series or the other series, you will get a chance of when they're able to catch up for the lead. Better luck next time. So wow, one last time to give it up for Diecast Home in Sparkle Smash Street Treats. But Matt Bonamac, it's Stingy Weedle event Stings Weedle. Could he clown hitting that clown for the win? Will become your 6.7, will be put in the Hall of Fame. So hopefully one of these drivers has become this champion, and it's getting closer nearby of a live stream, folks. Stay tuned for the Monster Science Series 2.0 World's Finest 8 of a day 1 to day 3 of these trucks on for a fight of this for the live stream. And hopefully you guys don't mess up during my live stream. so I can read you guys' chat, so I know who it is who is watching for my live stream for my vlog for a Mod Jam Science Series 2.0 World's Finals 8 is coming in July, in the 2nd to the 4th of similar we did last time. Besides the loop, we're gonna do something different besides the loop. So that's what could today's video. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. This is Aaron 00 Mod Jam signing out.